All right, students. Here we are. We're on 8.5. We've got the 8.5 Develop Understanding task. It's called Connect the Dots, and what it's going to ask you to do is graph a scatter plot. Okay, so a scatter plot is basically a graph, and you have a table of values here. Okay, so first thing you need to know what the table of values, you need to know what's the x values and what's the y values. So usually the x is first and the y is second, so we'll put that. And as far as graphing goes, when you make your graph, you're going to want to make sure X is on the horizontal axis and Y is on the vertical axis, like that. You'll notice I only included this quadrant because all my data looking at it is all positive, so there's no need for the negatives. What you will notice though is all your data is between like 2, 6.4, 1. About 6.4 is the biggest one I have, or we have. And if you look at these, all of them are decimal points. So if you're gonna use graph paper for this, you're gonna wanna set it up properly, okay? Because if you squish everything in there, and I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, let's use my graph here. Let's make this overly small just to illustrate my point. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The problem is, so our first data set will be 2 comma 1. Easy enough. 2 over 2 and up 1. That's 1 point. But now 2.3 and 1.5. So 2 and 0.3 and then about 1.5. That's going to be sort of there. And 3.3 and 2.5, somewhere around there. And then 3.7 and 1.9. Well, 3.7 is a little bit over here. You have to really estimate, and 1.9 would be sort of around there. It's not going to be as accurate. One thing is everything is going to be squished together. Okay. What I really should do, if we're going to do this, my x-axis should have probably gone like 0, 0.5, and then 1. Then 1.5, and then 2. And go across that way. Okay, so basically, if you spread it out a little bit more, you will have more space for everything. They won't be crunched up, and you won't have to estimate where 3.7 is and 1.9 is and how close is it. It'll be a lot more accurate. Okay, so for example, the 2.3, if this is 2 and this is 2.5, then in between 2 and 2.5 was 2.25, so 2.3 would be somewhere right around here. It's a little more accurate. Okay, realistically, that's a pain in the butt. We're not usually going to do this in, outside of a math class. And even in most math classes, in most jobs or anything like that, you'd want to use a computer for it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. Let me see if I can, let's move this out of the way. Okay, and we're going to flip over here to something called Desmos. Okay, this is our graphing calculator. And what you want to do is just go to right here, desmos.com. Okay, and click Start Graphing. Alrighty, so let me go down. What I want to do is sort of walk you through this Desmos. If you haven't used it before, it's incredibly user-friendly. It's very easy, and it can do so much for you. So here's what it is. Usually right in this spot right here, you're going to type in your equation. We don't have an equation, we have a data table. So let's go ahead and shrink this a little bit. Shrink this down a little bit. No, not that much. Okay, so that way I can still see our data table over here. And we'll just sort of get you set up for it. Let's see, right about there. Okay, so we want to be able to enter a table here. So this is usually where you enter equation. If you add item, there it is, table. X1 and Y1. So you can go down the X's, go 2, then 2.3, and then 3.3, and then 3.7, and so on. And then the Y values, 1, 1.5, 2.5, 1.9, and so on. And again, you'll notice already, you can see them graphed over here, they're all really squished. Okay. Now our data table goes on and on and on, and you should include all the numbers. Do not leave these out. We need to get all of them. Okay. For our purposes, though, just to make things quicker, I'm just going to show you the graph on Desmos. You get the idea. Here's how to make a table. If you really don't like the color green, you should be able to. No, that takes Monar. Over here, let's just show you how. Click on the green. If you hit edit, styles we don't want them connected. Sometimes you could connect them. We don't want them. Things like that. You can change the color of them, whatever your favorite color is. We'll make them black so they show up real nicely in dark. And so there's just things you can do. So, whoops, oh crap, didn't want to do that. There it is, undo, and there it is again. Okay, so we're done. Okay, so there's our data points. Okay, again, we can't see it too well, so if you zoom in, oh, now we can go ahead and zoom in. And again, this is much easier than any calculator I've ever used, so I really highly recommend Desmos. So now what you're wondering is, how would I turn this in? Very simply, there's a feature on my computer, sure you have it on yours. You're gonna grab all this, and you're gonna cut and paste it. There you go. That just copied it, and then you could go to like Gmail and or open a Google Docs, and let's see here. Let's get Drive open. New document. Google Docs. And you would type in, come on, here we go, homework. Bam. Now, is this acceptable? 100%. Okay. One thing I would ask you to do is make sure to put a title on it. And as far as turning this in, you can either email it to me or print it out or whatever. But this, again, is probably faster. It's definitely more accurate than using the graph paper. So feel free to use Desmos. Feel free to cut and paste it. Feel free to email me your homework on it. Feel free to print it out. Whatever works for you. And that's the goal here. To get you through this, get you understanding everything, and get you on to the next class. Thanks for watching. Bring questions to class, and I'll see you later.